let's see here. Gotta notify that Discord. Usually I do that before we start the stream, but oh well. Okay, we're good. Let's see. Keep refreshing. Pull the stream up on my end. Make some slight adjustments. There we go. Okay. Microphone is working. Get the stream pulled up. All right, we should be good to go. What is up, everybody? WonderBro here with Vacay Fear. Your search for a way out is keeping you in. Anxiety recovery, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're struggling using a lot of different coping methods, if you can't seem to drop the coping methods, we're going to talk about why that is so vital. Okay, vital to your recovery today. We did let the Discord know. Yes, okay, we're good. What's up, Michael? Hey, what up, WonderBro? What's up, dude? Sanchez, WonderBro, made it on time, brother. What's up, Sanchez? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing good. Jess, hello. Hello, Jess. How are you doing? Welcome, everybody. I know it's a little later than we usually stream or have been streaming anyway. So guess what, guys? You probably already guessed it. You probably already guessed it. I've managed to screw my sleep up again. I'm sorry. I just cannot stay on track. I can't. I'm a night owl. No matter how many times I fix it, I just gravitate naturally back to this night owl lifestyle. So this is just the way it's been for the past few years on the channel, and this is the way it'll probably continue to go. What's up, Tia? What's up, Sammy? Hello, hello. Hi from I don't even want to try to pronounce that, dude. I will butcher that. What's up, Deadpool? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see all these familiar faces in here. We're gonna get going in just a bit. What's up, Will? What's up, my dude? How you doing? I hope you guys have been practicing since our last live stream. We talked a lot about retraining the brain, right? Retraining the brain using the two main keys and actually dedicating to it. We talked a lot about that in our last stream, and I see a lot of the same people in today's stream from that stream. So I hope since the last time we spoke, you guys have actually been putting that into action. I just realized that don't fight with anxiety. You got it. It'll be your friend. Anxiety has no good slash bad. It's our reaction. Exactly, man. It's all about perspective. It's the way we look at it, right? It's the way we treat it. It's up to us. Second fear or no second fear. The choice is yours, right? All right, guys, we're going to get going in just a minute here. It's going to be a good one. Your search for a way out is keeping you in anxiety recovery. So, if you're having a lot of issues, and I'd say most people are because this is one of the hardest, if not the hardest part of recovery, is getting rid of those tricky, sneaky, sticky, whatever you want to call it, coping methods, right? That are telling your brain that something is wrong when there is not a real danger present. So that can be one of the most difficult parts of recovery is making the choice to get rid of those coping methods, but it's also one of the most crucial parts of recovery if you want to truly show your brain that there is no tiger, right? So we're going to talk about that today. Your search for a way out is keeping you in. What's going on, Hank? It's good to see you, dude. It's good to see you, dude. Let go of those thoughts that say it's hard, man. You don't have to listen to those thoughts. What's up, WonderBro? Please upload. Can't enjoy this stream. It's all right, Migs. This stream will more than likely be uploaded unless, of course, something happens and we experience technical difficulties or something, which is usually the only reason that a stream won't be uploaded. Like I've said in the past, if you missed a stream and it's not there, I chose not to upload it, and if I chose not to upload it, it's for a reason. It's either because the stream was really laggy or it just wasn't worth uploading, so you didn't miss anything. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Come on, come on, guys. We're going to get started in just a minute. Everybody gather around, gather around. We're pre-stream, but we're about to go mainstream. All right, everybody join up. Join up, join up. We're about to get going. Hope everyone's doing well today. All right, guys, we're about almost 5 minutes into this, so let's go ahead and knock out that main point of today's stream. So, the main point of today's stream, your search for a way out is keeping you in anxiety recovery. Now, if you've been here for a while, we've talked about behaviors in the past many, many times, and we've talked about how the brain learns. We've talked about how the brain decides what to set your anxiety levels at. How does the brain do that? For those of you who are new here, or those of you who just need a reminder, the brain does that by watching your reactions, your behaviors. If you react fearfully to fear, okay, aka anxiety, the brain is going to assume that there is a real threat, a real danger, and it's going to keep those anxiety levels high. It's going to do what you tell it to do based on your behaviors. It doesn't speak English. Okay, it doesn't speak English. It needs to be shown with your behaviors whether or not that alarm is needed. So every time we react fearfully, okay, and we use coping methods and we add fear on top of fear, we are telling the brain that there's a problem. So anxiety recovery is all about moving through life with your anxiety, not against your anxiety. Anxiety recovery is all about allowing the anxiety to be there while you remember that your brain is watching. Okay, so if you carry on with your life as normally as possible, you are slowly going to tell the brain that there is not a real threat, and therefore it's going to set those anxiety levels lower. You are going to start to heal, okay, and as a result of healing, these thoughts will come less often. They'll bother you less often. They won't cause such a reaction in the body, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but how do we do that? What are these behaviors that we speak of? Is there any other way to put it besides just living life normally? Well, there's a millions different ways to put that, okay? But you know what works for you. So your search for a way out is keeping you in. What is the main point of today's stream? All right, well, if the brain is watching your behaviors to determine whether or not anxiety is needed in your life, what do you think the message is that you're sending to your brain when every day you do the same coping methods, when every time you're anxious, you turn to the same thing, whether that's calling a friend and begging for help, or whether that's looking online, trying to find a magical way out, or whether that's running outside for a breath of fresh air, or jogging around your house, or turning in circles, or hunkering down in bed and putting the blanket over your head, or whatever it is you do. Okay, you got to be honest with yourself. I don't know what your coping methods are. I don't know what you do in an attempt to fight your anxiety. So you got to be honest with yourself there. All right, but the brain is watching. Okay, so your desire, your search for a way out. Okay, and when we say your search for a way out, we're simply referring to your coping methods, right? That is your attempt to find a way out. That is your attempt to fight your anxiety. Every time you call that friend and beg for help, every time you pace around the house, whatever, like I said, whatever it is you do, that is your search for a way out. You're essentially trying to stop the anxiety. Okay, and every time you do this, every time you react fearfully in this way, every time you act defensively in this way, you are basically holding up a big poster that says, please give me more anxiety, right? You don't mean to do that, but you're in a habit of doing that. And for so long, the brain has said, okay, I see what you're getting at. I see the signals that you're sending me. Therefore, I'm going to keep your anxiety high because that's what you're asking me to do by using these coping methods. So, your search for a way out. And again, for the third time, I don't know what your search for the way out is. You need to be honest with yourself, completely honest with yourself. Your search for a way out is actually keeping you in. If you want to recover from anxiety, you have got to assure the brain that there is no real danger. How do you do that? Stop arguing with the thoughts. It's pointless. Okay, the brain only speaks one language, and that's behaviors. So how do you do that? You show your brain with your positive accepting behaviors and moving on with life, dropping those coping methods, that all is well. That all is well. And that is the main point of today's stream, you guys. Your search for a way out, aka your coping methods, okay, is keeping you in. Is keeping you in. I know it feels normal. I know it feels comfortable to use these coping methods to shut down when anxiety is there and run to your bed and be quiet and remain quiet. And, I know whatever it is you do feels right to you. I know it feels right. I know it feels comfortable. I know it feels normal. I know it takes the edge off in the moment. Okay, I know it takes the edge off in the moment, but you've got to understand your brain is making mental notes of all of these things that you're doing. And when you continue to use coping methods, when you continue to send the signals to your brain has access to your five senses. Your brain has access to your five senses. And when you continue to do these things, and you continue to send the signal to the brain that there is a threat when there is not, the brain doesn't know any better, and it's going to continue to do what you tell it to do based on your behaviors. So you really need to shake things up. And you really need to change your daily routine. If your daily routine all of these years have consisted of multiple coping methods, And again, for the millionth time, I don't know what your coping methods are, but if your daily routine for all of these years have consisted of coping methods, I promise you, your brain has caught on. It has started to make the connections. It has started to realize that you do these things when you are anxious, and that means that there is a danger. Your brain has access to your five senses, so it has made these connections. If you truly want to heal, you have got to shake things up. Okay? You have got to shake things up. You have got to drop your normal daily coping method routine, whatever that might be, and you've got to throw yourself into a little bit of discomfort. Okay? And all I mean by that is it's going to be a little odd to you. It's going to seem like a leap of faith whenever you drop these coping methods and you just start to show your brain that all is well. This is going to seem odd to you. This is going to seem a bit uncomfortable. This is going to seem new, of course, but you have really got to show your brain the truth. You have got to show your brain the truth. You have got to show your brain that there is no need for these false alarms. All right? And how do you do that? Again, you have to shake things up. Your search for the way out, the main point of the stream, your search for the way out is keeping you in. Your search for the way out is keeping you in. So, very simply put, and we talked about this a lot in the last stream. If you missed that, I highly recommend you check it out. Very simply put, how do we recover from anxiety? We show the brain that there's no need for the anxiety. How do we do that? Well, first and foremost, stop arguing with the thoughts. Stop following the thoughts. That means not to entertain them. Just let them be there and remind yourself you don't have to follow that, right? Because that's pointless. That's useless. These thoughts only bother you so much because you are sensitized. When you are healed, you'll be laughing, all right? That's one of our two main keys. And the other of the two main keys, moving on with life, acceptance. Cutting out the coping methods and showing the brain with your positive behaviors and your positive reactions, even if you're scared on the inside, that there is no need for the anxiety. And, a lot of people will say, well, moving on with my life and doing these positive behaviors and these positive things and getting back into my life, that sounds good and all, but I feel like I'm faking it because I'm scared on the inside. Listen, you have to understand something. It's not so much faking it as it is simply showing your brain that there's no need for anxiety. You're not faking anything. You may be trembling on the inside, you may be very scared on the inside, but you know that this anxiety isn't needed. So it's not that you're faking it, all right? It's that you are showing your brain the correct way. You are showing your brain that there is not a real tiger around. You are getting on with life despite being scared. And you are dropping coping methods and you are picking up positive behaviors to tell your brain that you're not back in a cave with a saber-toothed tiger. That is what you're doing. You're not faking it. You're simply programming your behave correctly. That's all that is. So if you've got this mindset of, oh, it's so much work because I've got to fake it, you're not faking it. You're facing your fears and you're showing your brain with your new behaviors that there is no tiger. That is what you're doing. So drop that mindset of, oh, it's this, it's that, I can't do it, it's a lot of work because I gotta fake it. No, I understand you're scared. I understand you're scared and I understand you're shaking and you're trembling on the inside and outside. But you gotta show your brain that you don't need that anymore. You got to show your brain that it's uncalled for. You have got to literally rewire your brain. And how do you do that? With your reactions, with your behaviors. So it's time to step out of that, daily grind, that daily routine that you've been in for years with all these coping methods. It's time to do the opposite. Okay, essentially this is what we mean at the end of the day with anxiety recovery is it's time to do the opposite of what the anxiety wants. Anxiety wants you to stay in bed all day and not go to work. Go to work. Anxiety wants you to run out of that shower and hop back in bed because you started to feel anxious. Stay in that shower. Finish that shower. Anxiety wants you to turn off your favorite song you've got playing so that you can go and obsess about this or obsess about that. Continue listening to your favorite song. Anxiety wants you to remain quiet and defeated in bed. Sing out loud. Sing out loud. All right, you got to understand the anxious caveman brain is just that. It is a caveman. It's back in the day. It's never evolved. Okay, so when you stay in bed all day because you're feeling anxious and you don't do the things you enjoy doing and you stay very quiet and to yourself, your caveman brain thinks that you're back in a cave somewhere and you're doing that because there's a saber-toothed tiger lurking right around the corner. As far as your brain concerns, that's what it believes. It doesn't know that you're just in your room with a blanket over your head, staying very quiet. And I use this example all the time because that's what I did. I stayed very quiet and I Googled all the time. To my brain, I was in a cave hiding from a real threat, hiding from a real danger. So when you get these uncomfortable thoughts, these intrusive thoughts, and your body sounds that false alarm, okay, whether these thoughts are about this or whether these thoughts are about that, none of that matters. We're focusing on one thing, not arguing with those thoughts, not following those thoughts, and proving to our brain by getting up, by doing whatever it is we need to do, that there is no need for that false alarm, that there is no need for those anxiety levels to be as high as they are. The brain doesn't speak English. It's not enough to know. And that's why we can reassure people all day long that their thoughts are not danger. But until they prove that to their brain with their behaviors, the brain will not get the message. So quit trying to figure out the thoughts. That's not important. You just need to do the only language that the brain speaks is your behaviors. That's what you need to focus on. Forget arguing with the thoughts. Don't follow them. There's a thought, I accept it, but I don't have to go there. And I'm just going to shake things up. I'm going to prove to my brain with my behaviors today and every day that there is no need for this anxiety. Because again, guys, and this is the last time I'll say it, your brain is back in the caveman days. When you are huddled up and you're remaining quiet and you're remaining frozen and you are sticking to yourself and not doing the things that you enjoy doing and you're staying very quiet, whatever it is that you do, you have to think in the terms of a caveman because that's where the brain is at. So if you're staying in bed all day and you're being very quiet and to yourself and shut down, your brain is going to assume that you're doing that because there is a real tiger outside of your little cave. All right, so you really have to shake things up, and that is the point of today's stream, guys. Break out of those coping methods. Your search for a way out is keeping you in. So all those coping methods are keeping you in, all right, you guys? Now I'm going to read some comments. I hope someone takes something from this. And remember, I've been trying to get into a habit of saying this because it's so, so true and so, so vital. My advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. So after the stream goes off, after this stream is over, if you don't get up and get back into life and do some things that you enjoy, big or small, I'm not asking you to rush around and accomplish all these great feats, just big or small, your postures, the way you present yourself, what you do, whether it's listening to your favorite song or just having a conversation about football, I don't care, okay, big or small, if you watch this stream and you go right back to coping methods and you go right back to using all the things that put you in the boat to begin with, that showed your brain that there was a problem with to begin with, then none of these streams are going to help you. Okay? Blake, thank you so much. Right on time. That actually couldn't have been any better. As soon as I finished my sentence there. Blake, thank you so much for the $2 tip, dude. I just wanted to see Santa twerk it. That is amazing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your twerking Santa, Blake. Thank you for the $2 tip, dude. All right, let's get that added. Thank you so much, Blake, man. I truly appreciate it. Let's get you added to the stream MVPs. But yeah, guys, if you don't use the advice, it's not going to help you. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there. I've been trying to throw that out there more frequently because it's so important. The advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. What's up, Denise? What's up, Sparta? Blake? I wanted to say thank you. I watched your stream the other day, and when you said that your brain watches what your body does, this changed everything for me. Something inside me clicked, and I got it. That is awesome, David. Keep it up. Cut those coping methods, dude. Show your brain with your behaviors. Leave those thoughts alone. Show your brain that all is well. You're the man if you follow it and do it. Yes. Oh, man, why did you just describe me in bed all day? There you go, Denise. So what do you think your brain is assuming? When it sees you behaving that way when you're anxious, it's assuming that it's doing its job correctly and that you're hiding from a tiger. Therefore, it's going to keep that anxiety level up there. And that's why you're stuck in a cycle. It can be, Jesse. It can be. Working, Santa. All right, guys. You guys know what time it is. You guys know what time it is. If you know, you know. Hey, what's up, James? I've got several My Story videos. Check those out because I could be here for hours talking about my story. I could be here for hours talking about my story. Let's just say I went from the very worst, in my opinion, okay, the very, very worst, to feeling like myself again. So check out those videos if you're interested in that. There's nothing wrong with a reminder to yourself, right? That you don't have to go there with thoughts. Just a simple reminder to yourself. A simple, simple reminder to yourself. There's that thought. I don't have to do anything about it. I don't have to do anything with it. I just need to prove to my brain that there's no danger, right? Because there's not. Bad things can happen. I'm not saying bad things can't happen in your life, but you still need to prove to your brain that that's not a danger, that that's not a saber-toothed tiger. Yes, a lot of shitty things can happen, but that's not a danger. It's not a danger to your life. So why is your body responding like it is a danger? Because that's the way we programmed it, right? And it's very possible to rewire that, to rework that, but you got to get started. You got to get started. That's the thing. You've got to get going. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of willingness. It's a matter of willingness. And if you've been stuck in this cycle long enough, you'll be ready to do it. You'll be ready to do it. Jesse, can you hear the level of tired in my voice? What's up, Leo? What you decide to do throughout your day is up to you, Leo, as long as you're facing and accepting that anxiety. As long as you're retraining that brain, okay, there's nothing specific that you need to do, specific, right? What you do throughout your day and the choices you make is up to you, as long as you're facing, accepting, and retraining that brain. Yeah, I heard it was a buggy mess too. I've been seeing all those videos pop up. What's up, Holds? How you doing, man? Your search for a way out is keeping you in. It's keeping you worked up. It's keeping you stressed. It's keeping you in that spot, right? And what is a way out? What do I mean? Your search for a way out. I mean your willingness and your desire to use these coping methods. Although they might bring short-term relief, they are continuing to tell your brain that there's a problem. So you really need to shake your daily routine up. You really need to shake your daily routine up. And I don't mean that you have to rush around in a panic trying to find new things to do. You simply have to cut those coping methods out, big or small, right? Big or small. All right, there we go. Denise says these coping methods are like pacifiers, feel comfy but are no good. I like the way you put that. That is very, very true. It's very, very true. You really got to shake your daily routine up. You got to do things a bit differently. Thoughts can fire off pretty rapidly, yeah. But that's none of your concern anymore, right? Part of the two main keys, one of the two main keys is that's none of your concern anymore. You're just moving on. You're accepting those thoughts, and even if those thoughts want to be there, that's fine. You're no longer involved. You're no longer fueling the fire, right? The two main keys. The two main keys. Accepting those thoughts, no longer fueling the fire, they are not what's important. What is important is retraining your brain. That's really up to you, AP man. I can't say that could be bad for me. That's really up to you. If you feel like you can't drive safely, pull over. Right? I can't tell you to do something, and then something bad happens, and that falls on my shoulders. So all I'll say is, if you feel like you can't safely drive, then pull over. But remember, although these seemingly normal tasks in your life right now are made very difficult by the state that you're in, right? It can make things seem very, very difficult, even things that you're so used to doing, normal things that you're so used to doing. It's because you're in a sensitized state. Once you start to rewire and reprogram your brain, like we've been talking about in the past few streams, these things that are normal to you, these things that you're so used to doing, they will go back to being normal. They will go back to being easy to do, easy to accomplish, and it won't be a problem, right? And it won't be a problem. So keep that in mind. So, you know, whether you're like, well, what the hell, man? I used to be able to do this all the time, and now I can't do this, and it's so frustrating and it's aggravating, or it's not that I can't do this. It's just it's a lot more difficult to do this. Keep in mind that all these things will clear up once you start to heal, and life will start to return back to normal for you. I know back when I first started my recovery, I mean, I couldn't even do the most simple of tasks. I really couldn't. I mean, I could, but it was made much more difficult. I just really it was very very difficult for me to do that. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So after you followed the two main keys completely, when you did, your normal self came completely back to normal for you, like no more sensations, thoughts. It's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. Keep that in mind. It's not like something that just happens overnight. It's not something that just you're gonna have one day where you wake up, you've been using the advice for so long, and one day you have like that grand bells and whistles moment. It's nothing like that. It's a very gradual process, or at least it was for me. So you go from feeling completely like crap to slowly getting back into the normal you, and it happens so gradually that day of the grand moment never really comes. Does that make sense? It's a gradual healing process. You start to notice little by little, slowly, 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 that you're starting to get back into your old self again, and you'll start to notice these little signs, right? You'll start to notice these little signs. They can be big or small. Like I started to get my appetite back, for example, or I started to sleep better at night. You'll start to notice these little signs. You'll start to notice these little signs. You can do anything with anxiety. It's just an emotion. Exactly. Exactly. It's what we make out of it. You don't try to improve the negative self-talk. You don't get involved with the negative self-talk. Okay. You don't get involved with this negative self-talk. That's one of the keys that I keep messing up. Well, I don't think you understand the key then, because the key is to not get involved with the negative self-talk. The key is to not follow your negative thoughts. So the negative thought is there, but you're not getting involved. You can take it at face value. You don't have to dive in deep with it. You don't have to struggle with it. You don't have to fight with it. Okay? You don't have to struggle with it. You don't have to fight with it. You don't have to get involved with it. So one of the two main keys is to not follow your negative thoughts. It's not, okay, argue and try to improve your negative self-talk. The more you try to argue with these ridiculous thoughts, the more you just fuel the fire. And these thoughts aren't even important, okay? Because when the day comes that you slowly start to heal, you'll start to see the truth behind these thoughts. You'll see that they're not even important to you anymore. And that's why it's pointless to even argue with them to begin with. That's why it's pointless to even argue with them to begin with. So one of the two main keys: do not follow these negative thoughts. Okay, do not attempt to change these negative thoughts. Do not attempt to argue with them or fight with them. Just realize that they're there. Take them for what they are, but understand that you don't have to get involved. In fact, the more you try to get involved, the more you're just bending yourself over, essentially. How do I have more normal slash positive self talks? I'm not trying to argue. I'm trying not to argue with them. So kind of contradicting there. You say, how do I have more normal slash positive self talks? But then you turn around and say, but I'm not trying to argue with them. Well, very apparently you are. Okay, and we need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves. Very apparently you are trying to argue with them, or you wouldn't be asking, how do I have more positive slash normal self talks? And then you turn around and say, I'm not trying to argue with them. Well, according to your first message right before that, you are trying to argue with them. Very, very apparently. So you have to be honest with yourself. How often do you sit around trying to force these thoughts out, trying to have more positive self talk? Right? Forget the positive self talk. Forget the quote unquote normal self talk. Let those thoughts go. And if they want to stay there, that's fine too. But you're focused on your positive accepting behaviors and you're moving on and you're showing your brain by not trying to force these thoughts out that they're not important. The more you try to force them out and ask things like, well, how do I have more positive self talk? The more you're just getting involved. Involved, 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 involved. And it's a cycle. It's a cycle. These thoughts will leave on their own if you stop trying to do anything with them. Focus on your positive accepting behaviors and forget trying to do anything about the thoughts. Forget trying to do anything about the thoughts. That's not needed. These thoughts are not important, and as soon as you heal, you'll start to see that they're not important. You'll start to see that you were being bluffed by a tired body, and as soon as that body is not tired, you'll be laughing. You'll be laughing, right? So I hope that clears things up for you. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. I know it does not feel normal to let these thoughts be there. I get that, but the more you try to force them out, the more they're going to stay. The more they're going to stay. The more you're going to tell the brain that there's a problem when there's not a problem, right? So the only reason I point that out to you in such a blunt way is because I care. I want you to recover and I want you to see where you're going wrong here. I want you to be completely honest with yourself because that's something I struggled with too. I was not completely honest with myself. I would tell myself, well, I'm accepting these thoughts, I'm not fighting with them. But all day long I would sit around saying, well, that's not true because of this and this. And I'd go on for hours and hours. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with a quick reminder. Let's say you have a negative thought and you need a quick reminder in order not to argue. Okay, if you need that at first, then go for it. So you can have your reminder set to whatever you want your reminder to be. But after you have said your reminder, it's time to let it go. It's time to accept your current reality and stop fighting. Right? So I give people that little bit of leadway. If you need a reminder at first to lean on, then pick a reminder and lean on it. Okay? So when a thought comes, you've got your reminder, go into accepting mode. Right? One day you won't even need that reminder. One day you won't even need that reminder. So I give people a little bit of leadway there. If you need that at first, okay. The reaction has decreased significantly, and it will continue to react the more that you just let these thoughts be. Okay? Because I promise, fighting with them is not going to do anything for them. It might feel good temporarily. It might bring you short-term relief, but the more you fight with them, all right, the more they are going to continue to grow. Right? And that's not even what's important anyway. The thoughts are not important. Once you start to heal, these thoughts will be meaningless to you. They will be completely meaningless to you. So I hope that clears things up for you. I love it when I get comments like that. I love it when people do that because it gives me an opportunity to jump in and be like, "Hey, let me point out to you exactly where you're going wrong in your own comments here." Right? And I'll never not do that. Okay, I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot, but I'll never not do that. If I can see where somebody's going wrong right in their comment, I'll point it out. That way they have a better chance of correcting that. I can tell when I have a tired body, I get extra jumpy and anxious all over. And that's fine, right? This is where acceptance comes into play. Acceptance and positive behaviors. I'm not arguing as you move on. Will! Twerking Santa, Will, thank you so much, dude. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, Will. Will and Blake, stream MVPs, dude. Is that the Will I think it is, right? One of my mods, I believe. Regardless, thank you so much, Will. I appreciate it, buddy. You guys are too generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Twerking Santa made 2 appearances today. Did spirituality or religion help in your recovery, bro? It's really a can of worms I don't really open here on the channel. I want people to be focused on acceptance, not so much anything else outside of that, you know, for multiple reasons. So I'll just leave you with this. I'll reply to that comment with this. If you have a willingness to use the advice that is given here on the channel, you will recover. You will heal. I'll leave it at that. That's all you need. You just need a willingness to use the advice that's given. Oh, okay, gotcha. Dominion, right? Am I saying that right? Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, I need that. Claire Weeks mentions that I need to have someone else's point of view because mine is messed up right now. It's not, well, I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's not so much that your point of view is messed up. It's that you're in a tired body. So everything is an overreaction right now. The way your mind is wired right now, it's wired to overreact. So you're like a cornered animal, right? A scared, cornered animal. So you're all over the place. You're jumping all over the walls. You've got yourself backed up into a corner. You're not really sure. Should I think this? Should I think that? Should I think this? Should I think that? And I'm here to tell you, deep breath. Slow down. You're in a tired body. Don't argue with the thoughts. Accept the feelings. Don't argue with the thoughts. Like Holds in the chat said, if you need a quick reminder at first, that's fine. I'll give you that little bit of leadway. I'll give you that leadway. So if you need to remind yourself, I'm not going to argue with that, right? It's not worth it. It never is worth it. You're not going to get anywhere. And then, okay, I've got these feelings. I'm just going to get on with my brain and show my brain that these feelings are not needed. Okay, that's all we're asking you to do. So I know when you're in a sensitized place, it may feel like you're, like I said, a cornered animal. You're not really sure which way to go, and that's why we try to break it down as simple as possible with the 2 main keys, right? Don't argue with the thoughts. Get on with your day. Positive accepting behaviors, right? Oh shit, Denise, thank you so much for the $10 tip, Denise. Thank you, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that, Denise, and I will. Thank you so much. Remember, guys, you do not have to listen to the words that come out of my mouth. I am not your doctor. I am not your therapist. At the end of the day, I'm just an average, normal dude. Okay? So you don't have to listen to me. But if you do make that choice to do that, all right, then you need to follow what we talk about here 100%. Don't give it 50%. Don't spend half your day arguing with your thoughts and the other half not. I guess that's a good start, right? But sooner or later, you need to get fully on board if you decide to go the acceptance route. If you eventually decide to give it 100% with the acceptance, you need to get fully on board. Let me get back over here. Sorry about that. I'm very behind. Okay, William, Denise, Blake, guys, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Where are we at? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, Blake, William, Denise. Truly helps me out. Keep in mind, tipping is always optional. It is always optional. If you cannot afford to do so, please do not. Simply put, if you cannot afford to tip, please do not tip. But thank you so much for those of you who do. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I laughed at the things that set me off before. And we talk about that all the time. We bring that up all the time. How when your body starts to heal, you will be laughing at the things that used to set you off before. It's because you're in a tired body. You're simply being bluffed by a tired body, right? You're simply being bluffed by a tired body. How do you properly observe your emotions without getting engaged? So to observe your emotions is to be aware of them. To be aware of them is to notice that they're there instead of being swept away by them. And your question is, how do you do that? Well, to do that, let's say, for example, I know you've had a lot of questions, Will, in the past about anger. Okay, thoughts that are violent thoughts or angry thoughts. So let's say you have this thought come, right? Here's this thought, this angry thought, this violent thought pops up into your head. There it is. And then you start to feel a certain anxious way in the body. You can simply remain as the presence behind that without engaging by simply reminding yourself, there's that thought, there's that feeling. I'm aware, keyword, I'm aware of what's going on here. I don't have to engage in any sort of behavior. I don't have to engage in this or that. I can simply just be aware of what's happening. So really it is just simply about reminding yourself. And we say it all the time that a reminder is fine. A reminder is fine. Look how bushy this beard is, dude. A reminder is fine. So I'm aware that there's this thought there and it's making me anxious. I'm aware that my body is responding in this way. I am aware. Period. See, that's the important part, and that's the answer to your question. How do you do that? You become aware, period. You got to put the period on the end. What does it mean to put the period on the end? It simply means, okay, I'm aware that this thought is there. I'm aware that this feeling is there. And that's the end of the story. You're not adding any more stories. Because the moment you start to tell yourself stories about the way that you feel, whew, you tend to spiral a little bit. It tends to get a little bit out of control. Okay, there needs to not be any stories. There is no stories. We're not going to argue with those thoughts. We're not going to try to fight those feelings. It simply is. It simply is. We talked, what was it, about a week ago? It is what it is. I love that mantra, but only if it's used correctly. How do you use it correctly? By putting a period on the end of that statement. So I've got this feeling. It is what it is. I've got this thought. It is what it is. There's no more stories. You're not creating a story in the head around these thoughts and feelings. You're not creating a horror story. You're not creating a story of good or bad. It simply is what it is. And this is what it means to be aware. To be aware means I'm aware of this feeling. I'm aware of this thought, period. You're not engaging. You're not adding to. You're simply aware and you're simply accepting. I'm aware and I accept. And what's the biggest part of acceptance, chat? The biggest part of acceptance is not getting involved with the thoughts and just carrying on with life. Okay, so the answer to your question really is the two main keys. The answer to your question really comes down to the two main keys. And don't you love how that happens? Don't you love that, chat? Don't you love how no matter what we talk about here on the channel, whether it's, Will says, how do you properly observe your emotions? Don't you love how no matter where we go in our conversation here, it always somehow comes down to the two main keys? Don't you love that? You know what we call that? We call that consistency. We call that being consistent. And it really goes to show you that no matter what your questions are, no matter which way you word them, it always comes down to the two main keys, and that's a beautiful thing. Because that means no matter what you're experiencing, guess what's always going to be right there in your back pocket? The two main keys. So to be aware how to properly observe your emotions without engaging, the two main keys. Allow your thoughts to be there. You don't have to argue with them, as Holds put it in the chat earlier. And allow your feelings to be there. But just move on with your life anyway. Just simply be aware. Okay? Just simply be aware and retrain your brain. Be aware that these feelings are there. Okay? Period. Be aware that these thoughts are there. Period. Don't create unnecessary suffering with the stories that you tell yourself about your thoughts and feelings. Just continue on with your day. Just continue on with your day. You don't have to argue with the thoughts. You don't have to do anything about the feelings. Just continue on with your day. The two main keys. Don't you love that? Don't you love that, chat? That no matter what we talk about, it always comes back to the two main keys in one way or another. Don't you love that? I love that. I know it takes practice, right? I get it. That's why we're here so often, right? That's why we do so many streams. That's why I'm constantly trying to figure out new ways to put it. Because I get that this is shaking things up for you. This is a new way to live that you're not used to living. This is a new way to live that you're not used to living. This is you essentially breaking probably the worst habit that you have and the strongest habit that you have, which is getting involved with your thoughts and feelings, right? So this is huge for you. And I get that. I understand that. And I get that this doesn't happen overnight for most people. And you're going to have a lot of experiences where sometimes you win and sometimes you just fucking lose. I get that. Okay? And you're going to have ups and downs. I get that too. And that's why we're here as often as we are, because of that reason. Because of that reason. All right, chat. You helped save my life. Thank you so much. Hey, Owen, I really appreciate it, dude. I'm glad. I'm glad you people that often, recover or start to feel better. I'm glad you still stop by the stream. So I appreciate that. Owen. Hey, that's awesome face paint. See, that's the thing, guys. Like, you've got these feelings, and then you tell yourself horror stories about them instead of just accepting them and retraining the brain, right? Instead of just accepting them and retraining the brain, which is what needs to be done. I know these feelings are strong, but you're supposed to feel scared. That is the point of anxiety, to try to quote unquote save your life. If it didn't scare you, it wouldn't work. Okay? So I know how unnatural it feels to go against that advice, but this is what must be done, right? And keep in mind, you're supposed to be scared during. You are supposed to be scared. That is the point. But if you behave in a proper way and don't react with fear on top of fear, then you're going to show your brain the right way to be. And you're going to start to rewire that brain. But keep in mind, you're supposed to be scared. Okay? It's fine. It's fine. In fact, that's when you're doing the most work for yourself, when you are scared. Right? Yeah, no problem, Owen. Appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it, my man. The anxiety says flee, you stay. Right? I'm just trying to put this in multiple different ways. You do what you want to do, is basically what we're trying to say. You do the opposite of what the anxiety wants. The anxiety wants you to flee and go hunker down somewhere. Don't do that. Do the opposite. Show your brain. You know there's no need for this bullshit. You know the real you. Everybody here is capable of thinking back before they became severely sensitized to how they used to be. Did these thoughts bother you back then? No. You've probably had similar thoughts or maybe even the same thoughts back then, and they were easily ignored. Okay? What's the difference now? Nothing. You're just sensitized. You know the real you. You know this shit didn't bother you before. You know there's no outside external cause for this because you know who you truly are. Because once upon a time you weren't this way. So let's get back there. And I'm giving you the keys to get back there. Right? So stop blaming it on this, stop thinking that it's that, whatever. I'll always recommend you get cleared by a doctor, right? But once that's done, you've got to just accept the fact that you're in a sensitized body and that there's no direct cause of this and there's nothing outside of you doing this to you, that you just need to rewire your brain. And you have got to accept that as the truth. And even if you don't fully accept that as the truth, you can still use the advice, because guess what? You've got nothing to lose. And then you can still watch the magic happen, right? Even if you don't fully accept that as the truth. Even if you just 50% accept that as the truth, right? Even if you just 50% accept that as the truth, you can still use the advice. and it'll still work for you because the brain still learns the same way, whether you have 100% faith in this or not. And that's a beautiful thing. I say I feel scared right now, and that's okay. My body is doing its thing. Exactly, face paint. Nailed it. And like I said, those little reminders are fine. There's nothing wrong with those little reminders like that. That's a good example of a perfect little reminder. But at that point, you need to drop it and accept what's happening, right? I give people that leadway. I tell them that it's okay to have little reminders like that, but stay out of the head after that. Stay out of the head after that because I don't want you to turn a reminder, a simple, harmless reminder, into hours worth of obsession, right? So that's why I say you need to make those reminders quick and you need to get back to doing the work. What is the work? Stop following the thoughts, accepting positive behaviors. Don't let your little harmless reminders turn into hours of obsession because then you're kind of defeating the purpose. You're not going to get anywhere like that. Todd, thank you for the $8 tip, dude. I believe you went directly through the PayPal. I didn't get a notification. I'm glad I checked my phone. Thank you so much for that, dude. Appreciate it, man. I believe, let's see. Let's see here. Yep, that is tip goal. Todd officially put us on tip goal. Thank you so much, Todd. I appreciate it, dude. Let's get you added to the stream MVPs. Congrats, chat. Thank you so much for hitting tip goal. Appreciate it, guys. Remember, that is always optional. You don't have to do that, but thank you so, so much. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the tip goal, guys. Especially this time of year with Christmas coming up. It helps me a ton, so I truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, no added fear. The first part is normal. That's it. Yep. Yep, and there's nothing wrong with those reminders, like I keep saying. In fact, they can be very beneficial, especially at first. But just leave your reminders at that. Let them be reminders. Don't let them be hours worth of obsession. As long as you do that, there's nothing wrong with a simple reminder. I believe that's what Dr. Claire Weeks refers to as the correct inner voice, the right inner voice, is those little reminders of acceptance. One thing that I like to say to myself back when I first started out, and there was multiple things that I like to say to myself, but if I needed a reminder, it was pretty much the same thing as what Face Paint said in the chat. I would simply remind myself, I know the real me. I know my body's just scared. I know this is just a symptom of being in a tired body, but it's time to put in that work. It's time to show my brain that this isn't needed, and that's a beautiful thing that I can do that right now, and that my brain is watching and listening because I can take advantage of this shit. And that's awesome. It's almost like getting into a mindset of excitement. I'm excited that this feeling is there because now I can put in the work. This is when my brain learns the most. Is when that anxiety is turned on. Yeah, it's all sunshine and roses, and you're easy to accept and reprogram your brain when you're not feeling anxious. But when are you going to do the most work? When you are anxious. When you are anxious is when the brain is learning the most. So turn that victim mindset into one of excitement. You know, turn that victim mindset into one of excitement. I'm feeling anxious right now. This is perfect. I'm feeling scared right now. This is perfect. I'm going to do the complete opposite of my anxiety. I'm going to do the complete opposite of what it wants me to do, and I'm going to retrain that brain because I know this is going to lead to a better future, and I'm so excited to do this. I'm so excited to do this. Right? Did you have to remind yourself long after truly accepting? It was something that I did quite often at first, which is normal. I would expect that from most people, especially, like I said, at first. But as you move on, you start to realize you don't really need many reminders because it just becomes like second nature. Acceptance really just becomes like second nature. You know what to do, you know what the truth is. You don't really need these reminders so much anymore. Show my brain I'm the boss. I like that. I like the way you put that. So the question is, chat, the question is, what are you going to do tonight to show your brain that you're not in real danger? That is the question. Are you going to sit around and dwell on your feelings, tell yourself horror stories about your feelings? Or are you going to let those thoughts go, realize that arguing with them is pointless? Remind that to yourself. Remind yourself that you're feeling scared and that's okay. You're going to show your brain the right way to live. Sounds like you're making progress, Jess, big or small. Sounds like you're on the right track. Continue. Continue. I don't even have to remind myself. Some weeks I'm doing awesome. Some weeks I'm just living normal like before. I'm joking and sarcastic self again. Nice. Nice. You're definitely on the right track. Yeah, like I said, after a while, you don't even need the reminders. After a while, you don't even need the reminders. Hey, that's awesome, Owen. I'm glad you've got a clear understanding. A clear understanding will take you a long way. A clear understanding will take you a long way. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are doing awesome, and you just got to keep it up. Even when I'm not streaming, right? Even when there's no stream going, even when I'm not here to say this or to say that, you've got to hold on to that truth for yourself. And I know you can do it. I know you can do it. You got to hold on to that truth for yourself, even when there's not a stream going. You got to remind yourself it's pointless to argue with the thoughts. You got to remind yourself that yes, you're feeling scared, and that is okay. You're going to show your brain that there's no need for you to feel scared, and that's fine. Very, very proud of you guys. Got a lot of positivity rolling in the chat right now. I love it. Love it. Love to see it. You guys are doing awesome. We're going to get something to drink here because I got a dry mouth. Did you guys hear me chugging that? This man preaches the truth after a couple weeks of watching his videos. I've been healing quickly. Trust the process, fam. That is awesome, dude. That is awesome. It is a simple reminder to yourself, I don't have to argue with these thoughts, and it's a simple reminder to yourself that yes, I'm feeling scared, but that's okay because this is when my brain is learning the most. And then just continuing on with your day. This is the process. This is how you rewire the brain. It seems like so many people are starting to get this message, and I'm so happy for that. I'm so happy for that. That is awesome. Looking forward to 10,000. Oh, yes, it is so close. Speaking of which, just how close are we? Let's go see. I'm back to eating sugar and some caffeine. Nice. I cut it out because of fear before, and that's why it's so funny and crazy now that I'm not sensitized like before, right? So we are about 800 people away from 10K. We have gained 200 subscribers since we last celebrated 9K, what, a few weeks ago? So that's awesome. That is awesome. You know, anxiety will take your confidence, guys. It'll take your confidence. It'll have you arguing with thoughts that you shouldn't even be arguing with. It'll have you running from feelings that don't need to be ran from. But the more you use this advice, the more you'll start to gain that confidence back. The more you will start to gain that confidence back. And no matter what feelings come, you can always have your little reminders there, right? I've said that so many times this stream. It's so important. You can always have your little reminders there. Don't feel guilty over your little reminders. As long as those reminders don't turn into obsession, you're fine. So there's a lot of thoughts in your head right now. You know what? You can remind yourself, I don't have to argue with that. I don't have to argue with that. It's pointless. There's a lot of feelings in the body right now. There's a lot of feelings in the body right now. You're scared. You're scared. You can simply remind yourself, I'm scared. And that's fine. So much pain and unnecessary suffering comes from saying, I'm scared and I don't want to feel scared. So much peace, okay, and so much progress, on the other hand, comes from saying to yourself, I'm scared and that's okay. Whoa, whoa, hold the phone. Why would you say something so controversial? I'm scared and that's okay. Hold up. I've never thought about that before. That's never crossed my mind before until somebody told me. You mean it's okay to feel scared? You mean that's okay? There's nothing wrong with that? Feeling scared is normal? It's not a problem? It's not a big deal? Hmm. You see? You see, for the longest time, I did not have that mindset. And that's what kept me from recovering. I did not have that mindset. It was every time I felt scared, it was how do I make this go away? And oh my God, did that get me into a world of suffering. Okay? But with acceptance is I'm scared and that's okay. I'm scared and that's okay. I can still do whatever I want to do. I've still got the whole day ahead of me. I can still go and do this and go take my dog for a walk and go eat my lunch. And holy shit, I can operate even while I'm scared. I can feel scared and that's fine. I can feel scared and I can still do the things I want to do. And you mean to tell me that if I do that, my brain will learn? And then after a while, I won't even have to deal with the feeling afraid part? Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what we're telling you, is that it's okay to feel scared and you can still operate, and you should if you want to reprogram your brain while feeling scared, and that's perfectly fine. It's like so many people have never been sat down and just told that simple fact. So many people have been told the opposite. If you're feeling scared, something's wrong. You need to take care of that immediately. You need to get away from that immediately. So many people have never been just sat down and simply told, you know what, you're feeling scared? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Does anybody make a big deal out of it when you're feeling happy? Do I ever look at somebody that I know is feeling a lot of joy and say, you know what, you shouldn't feel that way and you need to do whatever you can to knock that shit off? Or do you ever look at some, you know what I mean? We don't do that with other emotions. We don't do that with other emotions, and we sure as shit should not do that with fear, because when we try to do that with fear, that's when it turns into a big problem. A big, big problem. Because here's the thing about fear. Okay, when you add more fear to fear, it's an issue. It becomes an issue. All right? It becomes an issue. So to say to yourself, you know what? I'm feeling scared and that's okay. I can still operate. I can still do whatever it is I want to do, then that's the way to go. That's the way to go. And that's the way you should go if you want to reprogram your brain. The only reason that we try to do that with fear, the only reason that we try to force fear out, is because fear can take several very strong physical forms. That's the only reason we try to do that with fear and no other emotion. If you'll notice, when we're feeling happy or whatever, even though these emotions are very close, the emotions of excitement and fear are very, very close. The physical feelings are very, very close. If you'll notice, with these other emotions, we're very accepting. But when it comes to fear, because fear is based on some sort of negativity, we try to push it away. But really, at the end of the day, if we treated it like any other emotion, because it is just another emotion, it would be fine. It'd be okay. It'd be fine. It'd be okay. So that's the thing. I think it was Alan Watts. I think it was Alan Watts. It was Alan Watts who said, fear and excitement are very, very similar. And the only real difference between fear and excitement, the symptoms of fear and excitement, is what we tell ourselves about them. Is what we tell ourselves about them. So you tell yourself that it's okay to feel happy. Of course you do. Who doesn't tell themselves that it's okay to feel happy? You tell yourself that it's okay to feel excited. And when you're excited, your heart's pumping, your legs are shaking, you've got that adrenaline. But you tell yourself that it's okay because you're excited because you just won, 500 bucks on a scratch off. I don't know. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. You tell yourself it's okay because it's a good thing. Well, what if we took the same approach with fear and we told ourselves that this is a good thing and that it's not a problem and that it's okay? Just like we do with excitement, just like we do with happiness. We tell ourselves it's okay to feel afraid and then we continue on. What would happen if we took that same approach that we do with happiness and excitement and any other emotion? What would happen is you would start to heal your sensitized body. Point blank, right? So the same approach needs to be adopted. You start to feel those strong physical sensations of fear, and you simply remind yourself that's okay. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling that emotion. There's nothing wrong with these physical symptoms. Just like you would tell yourself it's okay to feel excited, even though your legs are shaking and your heart is pounding and your palms are sweaty, but you tell yourself that's okay because there's something to be excited about there, so it's okay. You can do the same thing with fear. You can do the same thing with fear. You can turn that into excitement, excitement that you can continue on and recover, right? Or whatever. My point is, you need to accept the emotion, the feeling of fear, just like you would any other emotion or feeling, right? We accept all the other ones for the most part, and they don't turn into a problem. Well, the same thing can be done with fear. There's that feeling, there's that feeling, there's that feeling, there's that feeling, and you know what? That's okay. Simply put, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Absolutely face paint, 110%. Absolutely. I know I've been on and off camera a lot today, guys. Honestly, I haven't been up for that long. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm trying to get numerous things done here, especially now that we're in post stream and we're just kind of hanging out and chilling. I've got a couple other things I'm trying to get finished, so apologize for that. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay. I love checking my email. All these spam accounts. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I still need to work on those slides I was talking about the other day. I don't know what stream we talked about that, but talking about doing the pre-stream, main point of the stream, and the post-stream slides. Still need to do that. But for those of you who are new here and you're trying to figure out how the streams operate, just give you a quick little rundown. We have our pre-stream where we talk about channel news, anything going on in my life, whatever, doesn't matter. We share Discord links, shit like that. That usually lasts about 5 minutes. So if you watch the stream after it's been uploaded, skip ahead about 4 or 5 minutes. You'll eventually find where the main point of the stream starts. The main point of the stream always comes next, and that lasts anywhere from 10, 20 minutes sometimes. And that's the title of the stream. So whatever the title of the stream is, we knock that in our main stream out in about 10, 20 minutes. The rest of the time, when you see like a 2, 3 hour, hour and a half stream uploaded, after the first 25 minutes, it's all post stream. It's all us just hanging out, talking to chat, talking about whatever. Doesn't matter. So don't be intimidated by 2.5 hour long streams. The main point of the stream is always covered right there near the start. It's usually covered within 20 minutes, and the rest of that 2 hour stream is us talking to chat. You don't have to watch that part if you don't want to. But a lot of times we do get into um, very, very interesting and very beneficial conversation. So if you don't have anything else going on and you want to clean your room while you got the stream going in the background or whatever, that's fine. Um, but yeah, just a little breakdown of how we do our streams here. False evidence appearing real. Yes, love it. Edward, what's up, dude? What's up, Edward? Hope you're doing good, my man. I need that to catch on. All right, chat. So if you're watching this now, and people in the chat are asking questions about how the streams work, I need you to remind them of that. I need that to catch on. I need it to become normal. I want people to understand that we always do a pre-stream, which is about 5 minutes, a main stream, which is about 20, and then the rest of it is all just post-stream hanging out with chat. I need that to become the norm so people aren't so intimidated when they see a 2 hour long stream get uploaded on the channel. I need that to become the norm, chat. So spread the word if you ever see somebody in the chat that's confused. That's why I figured those slides would help, and I really want to make those slides. Post stream is my favorite part of the stream. It really is. Mainstream is just me repeating information that I already know to you guys to try to help you out. Of course, I love to do that, but I really, really enjoy the post stream because we all get to just hang out and I get to know my chat. I get to know my second family here. I really love the post stream. So, what are you guys getting into, chat? Talk to me. Talk to me, chat. What are you getting into tonight? As soon as the stream goes off, even if you're feeling scared, which we've already made very, very clear is okay to feel, and you need to remind yourself of that, what are you going to do to show your brain that there's no need for that fear? Even though it's okay to experience it, how are you going to rewire your brain tonight? How are you going to make new connections once the stream goes off? Are you going to turn back to your coping methods? Are you going to turn back to staying in bed and staying defeated and arguing with all your thoughts? Or are you going to try something new? Are you going to start a new routine? Or maybe you're already starting to recover. How are you going to continue that progress tonight? How are you going to continue to retrain your brain tonight? Talk to me, chat. I want to know. I want to know what your plan is after we end this stream and we all go on about our ways until next time. I want to know. Talk to me, chat. As soon as I get back over to my setup, I will post the link to the Discord, by the way, if I don't forget. Discord is awesome. Love it. I think the long show might help people instead of folks ruminating. We can get a long dose of reality. That's a good point. I never thought about it like that. That's a good point. Reading clear weeks before I go to bed, as long as you don't do it anxiously, right? As long as you're not reading your book and fighting with your thoughts and trying to argue with your thoughts, which we know is pointless and stressful. And as long as you're not laying there in your bed all anxiously and all uptight with your jaw clenched and arguing with your thoughts, as long as you're reading your book laid back, your legs propped up, right, taking a sip of whatever it is you drink. I don't know. For me, it would be Dr. Pepper, but maybe for you, it's grape juice. I don't know. And you're and you're laying there and you're reading your book all comfortably. The thoughts are coming. You're reminding yourself there's no need to argue with that. The feelings are coming. You're reminding yourself it's okay to be scared. You're going to prove to your brain it's not needed. And you're reading your book in a very calm, collected manner, even if on the inside you're not feeling very calm at all. Then it's okay. Read your book. Then it's okay. Read your book. You get what I'm getting at here? I made dinner and laundry, ran around town. That's so awesome. Wrapped some gifts. Then I'm going to watch a Christmas movie and do my thing. That is amazing. That's what I like to hear. That is recovery. That is recovery. Going to move on with life. Hold's got it, man. He's got it. Watching an episode of Californication. Man, I'm far away from my screen. I'm blind as a bat, guys. And listening to a Wonder Bros stream. This is the happiest I've been in a while. That's awesome, dude. I'm going to keep pushing myself to do everything that my mind is telling me that I can't or shouldn't do. Yes. Yes. And what are you going to do while you do these things? Okay? What are you going to do while you do these things? You're going to give yourself little reminders if need be that you're not going to argue with the thoughts because it's pointless. It's stressful. It's fuel to the fire. And when you get these scared feelings, you're going to remind yourself that that's okay. It's okay to feel these feelings. You're just going to carry on and retrain your brain anyway. You're just going to carry on and retrain your brain anyway. So, Round says, good point, definitely. I hope you got what I was putting down there. Um, anything can be done in a multiple different ways. So if you're reading your book, but the whole time you're arguing with your thoughts and you're desperately flipping through the pages as fast as you can, trying to find that magical phrase to hold on to make the anxiety go away, well then, even though you're reading a book, you're not retraining your brain. So it's important to remember that. If you're going to get on with life, you need to get on with life the right way, which is in an accepting way, right? I love what I'm seeing in chat. You guys got the hang of it. You do. You guys got the hang of it. You understand it. And that's the thing. 90, I would say, probably even higher than that. 90% of my chat understands what we talk about here. It's been put multiple different ways over the years. It's been explained what I like to think very thoroughly. Multiple times. So a lot of people here are not dumb. None of you guys are dumb. You understand completely on a logical level everything that we talk about here. It's just a matter of implementing it now, right? Because it's a matter of breaking those bad habits. So it's not that you guys are dumb. It's not that you don't understand. If you've been here for a while and you're still not recovering, it's not that you're stupid. You're not stupid. Every single one of you understand exactly what we're talking about here. You do. Even if your mind makes you question it, you're not dumb. You understand what we're talking about here. We put it very, very clear. The only problem is you're not putting it into action, which is a little bit more difficult than the understanding part. The understanding part is pretty easy, and every single one of you are very smart people. The understanding part is easy for you. It's the putting it into action part that can be a little bit more difficult. So that's all you're lacking. If you're here right now and you've been here for a while and you're not making any progress, it's not because you're dumb and you don't understand what we're talking about. It's because you haven't put it into action yet. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Okay? So don't lie to yourself. Don't use a cop out and say, well, maybe I'm just stupid and I don't understand what he's talking about. No, no, you do. I know that you do because it's easy to understand. So don't lie to yourself. I know that you get what we're talking about here. It's just that you've got to start putting it into action, which means get the fuck out of bed. Which means remind yourself that it's okay to feel scared. Which means remind yourself that you don't have to argue with thoughts. Which means go do that thing around your house or whatever. Walk your dog or do the dishes or clean your room for the first time or in forever or read that book or watch that movie or listen to that song. It means doing these things. It's not just you're dumb and don't get it. It just means that you need to start doing it. So don't lie to yourself, Chad. Don't try to use that cop out on me. Don't try to use that cop out on me. I know I'm very straightforward and blunt, and I give you this advice in a very easy to understand way, and I know that you understand it. It's just a matter of doing it. So, no excuses here, chat. No excuses here, chat. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, chat. Because you know what? I made excuses too. I did for a long time. I would always tell myself, well, not always, but occasionally I would tell myself, maybe I'm missing something. That's one thing my self-pity mindset like to bring up a lot. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's just something I'm not doing right because I don't understand it. Maybe I just missed some vital, important piece of information. No, I knew after a while, after all the research I did, that I have to stop arguing with my thoughts. I knew that. And I knew that I had to show my brain while I was scared that all was well by continuing on with accepting positive behaviors. I knew all that. But I used that cop out for so long. Well, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to read this really important part in this book that I'm missing. Maybe I need to Google one last time because I'm just missing that important piece of information, right? Maybe I'm missing this very vital piece of info, and maybe that's why it's not working. No, no, it's because you're not doing it. And finally, I got onto myself and I was like, no, you're not missing anything. You just need to get going. You've got the info, dude. You've got it. You've beat it into your head over the past 6 months. You've got it. You just got to get going. And finally, I came to that realization. It changed everything. Changed everything. So, you know what? If you got to be blunt with yourself, if you got to be straightforward with yourself, then do so. And understand it's all out of self-love. If you got to be blunt with yourself, it's out of self-love. It really is. And that's why I'm blunt with you guys. It's all out of love. It's because I don't want you to use the same cop-outs and the same excuses that kept me where I was for so long. It's because I don't want you to keep yourself here longer than you have to be. It's because I know you're very capable. And it's because I know that you know what you need to do. It's just a matter of doing it. That's why I'm not going to sit here and hold your hand and say, oh, well, no, better luck next time. No, I'm going to tell you to get up and get going because you deserve better, right? And you need to treat yourself the same way. Stop the excuses, stop the cop outs. Remind yourself, yes, I know what needs to be done. I know the two main keys. They're very, very simple. Using them is not as simple. I'll give you that. I never said it was fun. I never said it was easy. But they're very simple. So, jump onto yourself, get onto yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much, but you do need to be firm with yourself in one way or another, right? And it's because you're capable, and I know you're capable. And the reason I know that is because I am the last person on the face of this earth that thought whatever would recover from anxiety. So I know for a fact if I can, you can, and that's just facts. That is just facts. All right, guys, what are we about an hour and 20 into this? I'm gonna come back over here for a minute, show my pretty face for a little while longer before I go ahead and end this one here. It's starting to die down a little bit. I've really got to get a new webcam at some point. Holds. Is Holds still in here? Dude, Holds. Okay. The new update for Fallout 76 just came out. You got to get it. You got to get it. I don't know if you've played it. I don't know. You might already have it, but I think we talked about this before. You're missing out, dude. Okay, that's all I'll say. You're missing out. I've been on a 76 grind here recently. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. To all my gamers out there, not just holds. Okay, don't judge Fallout 76. It's probably what I'm going to do after the stream's over, to be completely honest with you. Do not judge Fallout 76. I know it had a rough start. I know it had a rough start. Okay, but you need to give it a try. If you're one of my gamers out there, you need to give it a try. All right, it's good shit. It's good shit. I'm telling you. If you enjoyed Fallout 4 after the updates and the bug fixes and the glitches that they fixed and everything, present day, it's so good. It's just like Fallout 4. I'm having so much fun with it. It's definitely not easy and it sucks at first, but if you want enough, you will fight. Thanks for another awesome stream. Thanks for all you do. I love that message. I agree with what you're saying, except for the word fight. Right? Let's take that word. Let's take that word and let's throw that word out. But I get what you're saying. I get the point of your message. I get the point of your message. You gotta get up. You gotta get going. I get it. I get it. I just have a bad relationship with the word fight. I don't like the word fight. But I get what you're saying, and I agree with it 100%. New raid out in World of Warcraft. I'll check it out. Honestly, I'm not familiar with World of Warcraft at all. At all. But I know a lot of people love it. It's extremely popular, so. You get what I'm saying, face paint. I agree with your message 100%. I just don't like that word. But I get what you're saying. I like to enforce that in people's heads. Like just get that word out of your vocabulary. You know what I mean? Like even if you're using it in a totally different way, just completely erase the word fight out of the dictionary. Let's just get rid of that word. I didn't go to work today because I wanted to watch this live stream. Stay awesome, Wonder Bro. Nacho, dude, it's Nacho Bear. I love Nacho Bear. For those of you who don't know who Nacho Bear is, he joins the stream. He's like a mythological creature. Is that how you say it? Mythological creature. He joins the stream about once every I don't know 2 months, 2 or 3 months. I don't maybe he watches. I don't know, but he makes a comment. He makes one comment about once every 2 or 3 months, and it's always something just totally outrageous and funny. And then you don't hear from him again for another 2 or 3 months. And this is the legacy, okay? This is the legacy of Nacho Bear, and he's slowly become one of my favorite people here for that reason. Now, if you'll watch, he won't make another comment again in the live chat. He won't. That'll be all he says. I didn't go to work today because I wanted to watch this stream. Obviously, that's not true. Nothing that Nacho Bear says is true, but that's why he's amazing. And we won't hear from him again for about another 2 to 3 months. And that is the legacy of Nacho Bear, and I love him, and I'm very protective. I'm pretty sure Nacho Bear started as a troll, and then I embraced him with open arms, and now he sticks around. He comes back every now and then. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Get up, get motivated. That's better. I like that. I like that face paint. Eliminating the word fight from your vocabulary. It'll only help you. See you in a few months, Nacho. That's the thing. I've got a few trolls here that became regulars. And it's so funny to me because if you embrace those trolls, they start to like you too. They start to like you too. I've had several people show up on my streams in the past, not Nacho, but several people show up on my streams in the past with the sole purpose to troll. You could tell by their opening messages. And the way that I embraced them, they started to like me, and now they're here as a regular viewer. Bruce is one of them. Kinda, not really, kinda. Bruce is kind of a goofball too, but man, just embrace things for what they are, right? Embrace things for what they are, and it'll make your life so much easier. Isn't it funny how everything comes back to acceptance, whether we're talking about anxiety or whether we're talking about trolls? Isn't that funny? If you embrace things for what they are, they turn out to be okay. They turn out to be awesome. They turn out to be fine. If you embrace things for what they are. See you later, Face Pate. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to smoke one last cigarette with you guys, and then I'm going to head out too, I believe. Nothing but love for everybody here, man. Even if you don't love me back, what do the cool kids call it? Even if you're a hater. So stupid. Nothing but love for you, man, because we've all got our pasts, we've all got our traumas, we've all made mistakes, and whatever has shaped you into the person that you are today and the reason that you act the way that you act today, I still got nothing but love for you. Nothing but love for you. All right. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down in just a minute. Go ahead and get in your goodbyes. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to end this one here. We're about an hour and 30 into this one, so I feel like that's a good stopping point. And I will see you guys in the next stream or video. I'm going to drop that Discord link in the chat. Join us over there. All right, there we go. You got to give it the proper, the proper enter. When you press enter like that, you mean business, like, you know what I mean? So there you go. The Discord link is going to be up in just a second. I'll give that a second. There it is. All right, join us on Discord, guys. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being awesome. And continue. Just continue on your path. And remember that the advice is only as good as your willingness to use it. All right, you guys. And I will see you next time. Much love, everybody.